Jordan probably went to bed before my games were done.
Okay, hello there, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Hello.
I'm Majmocha, and hello, Vibrary for you too. And it has just been a few minutes since DauT unfortunately lost the final of Warlords 2 against Terra. Who else? But despite the score 5-3, it was still an incredibly close series, and we just got together here as a team once more for the second post-match talk. And we will be kind of dissecting the games and talking with the players and have their thoughts on the series against Terra. I guess we can just go kind of game by game. Game one, it was Arena. That was Bohemians against Burgundians. So you were playing as the Bohemians.
Mm-hmm.
That game, I was watching that game, and I looked away. Like as Tato was hitting Imp, I looked away, and I was like, okay, this game is over. I'll look back again in like 5-10 minutes. And like, what's game two? And then I looked back, and I saw 1-0 for Hera. I was like, what happened? Because Tato had such a good opening there. The strategy was super good. So I was shocked to see him lose there.
I think
We have already talked about what we think he should have done different.
That's why
It came down to chemistry, no? Like not having bombard cannons. I think if you have like 2 bombard cannons there early Imp, it feels like you win the game.
I also think, like I told Tad as well, I think he put too much effort on the outside. Like Hera ran away with 15-20 vills. I think those bought a lot of time because Tato even did a second castle in the middle of the map because of that. I think if Tato just goes and put that castle in Hera's face again with his trebs, monks, whatever, I think Hera cannot stop that ever.
Yeah, I think those were the mistakes. First, not chemistry on the way to Imperial, that is basic, and the other one is like he kind of debated me with those villagers, right? And then it worked for him. So I think that was lack of experience probably as well, because I don't play the arena that often, and usually I play more like a standard meta, and those kind of mom pushes is not something that I do that often. So there's obviously room to improve. And
standard
I think
meta, Tato? You castle drop my face every time you play, man. Every time you play arena, castle in my face.
That's another approach. I was trying to do that. I was thinking about doing that as well, to be honest.
Okay. Wait a minute. Am I completely misremember it? Didn't you win the Masters of Arena?
Yeah, but that's when I play arena. Like, apart from the Master of Arena, I don't play arena. And usually I play more like a standard. I don't go like full monk push. That's what I mean.
Okay. That's actually an interesting thing. Okay, so DauT is saying he prefers to do it tomorrow. I mean...
good that he told us.
Good he told us, yeah. Okay, we'll just move on, I think. Game 2, it was Land Nomad, map that I used to play a lot in the couple of years ago. So it was Mongols. You were Mongols against Vietnamese. You actually won this game. The one thing there that I was very surprised about, I don't think I've ever seen it before in a professional game, was elite steppe lancers. It was a very nice army combination between steppe lancers and onagers. Was that something you planned from the start of the game, or it was just adaptation?
No, I didn't plan. I wanted to see how the game develops, because my idea was to play more heavy feudal, but he was kind of cornered and I didn't have any space to harass him. So I decided to go for Castle Age and try to punish him there. And the game just developed like he was doing like Kavan Rathas, and I didn't have enough castle to counter to go for Mangudai and Onager. That would be as well a dream, but I felt like a Steppe Lancer will destroy the light cap and they will protect the Onagers quite well. So, and I went for them.
What was your logic behind your first castle placement? Like, what did you want to focus on?
I wanted to kill that castle because as well, if I get that castle down, I will get most of his economy, right? And like he had another castles on the other side, but that was like new economy. That was probably mainly gold and wood, and I'm fine with that, with him having that. But I prefer to hit his farm eco because then he has to replace it, and that's when he will struggle a bit more.
DauT is saying he fell asleep after the arena disaster.
Took him one game, and he was gone.
It was gone after one game. Yeah, what were your thoughts, Orion, on that game on Land Nomad? Mongols feel like a very strong side there, right? With all the hunt, and you feel like you start with a major advantage.
Yeah, well, Mongols, I used them as well against Lyrit earlier in the tournament, and I felt as well, if you find hunt right away, you're in a super, like you're flying. So yeah, I didn't watch that game too much in detail. I just checked now and then to see the score and such, and yeah, I mean, not surprising that Tato was able to pull it off with Mongols.
Aren't they also super sick on Mired?
Yes.
Mongols, especially if they are no gold, though no goth, right?
Mhm.
What is more of a Civ win?
Probably safer to play on Land Nomad because you're also going to face a good Civ on Land Nomad. I think on Mired, it's going to be a bit of a like, who knows what Civ you're going to pick kind of thing.
How do
But
you
of
feel
course-
about that, Tato?
I think that Nearly is right. Like Mongols probably they have bigger difference on land nomad because you will have more than 5 wars and there's plenty of deer. But on Maret maybe with the open map can be like more punishment. Yeah, maybe I could have thought about it.
Interesting. Then we have game 3. It was Land Madness this time. You had Tatars against Incas. Incas just feel like an incredibly powerful civ these days. What would be, in your mind, in your opinion, what would be the best civ to fight Incas these days? Hello, Eustace, by the way.
I don't know. It's super complete, right? Like any cavalry civ will struggle in Castellates
Right.
with the pikeman switch, and the archer civ he can just go skirmisher. So I think it's quite complete, and it's hard to. I don't think there is a civ that you will think that they have an advantage over Incas.
How do we rate Tatars' chances? So were you happy with the civ matchup, considering how hard it is to beat Incas these days?
Yeah, I think Tatars still can surprise, but the Incas is still favor, but Tatars can make something happen.
What are we thinking? After playing Scout opening and then going into the Archer range, you decided for Horse Color. I see most players skipping Horse Color in that spot to get the Archer range out a bit quicker and get to like the first 3 offensive skirms quicker.
I don't think they will have it game changer, and like the horse collar with Tatars, I think is fine because you will do it later. I could have done a bit later maybe, but I don't think like losing that 1 billion would have made any difference.
I think the end goal should have been their Knights crossbow castlage. Like you try to play a little bit bigger feud ledge, get archer numbers, and hit castlage with 15 crossbows, and then mix in Knights. Then you have control of the game, right? But it's obviously really hard, no matter what, against Mezzo and Incas in particular. But I think that's kind of where what you want to aim for is Tatars, because you also get Thumb Ring, right? And there's a lot of small hills where you can maybe take the advantage of Tatars, but yeah, Incas are Incas.
So you did go for Step Lancers first. I was also a little bit so.
Whoa!
Oh, hello!
Oh, look at that beautiful face! Good morning, DauT.
Did you just wake up, DauT?
I told you we don't do this today.
This is the third nap of the day for DauT.
Wait.
Who won?
So you did watch the arena game, didn't you?
The arena game was amazing.
All right, so let's go back to that one. Tell us what you think about it, DauT.
I think Tato did an amazing pressure. He was all over the place, but he forgot the 2 relics. And I think those 2 relics cost him the game and cost me my sleep. We could all be happy if Tato picked up those 2 relics.
What do you think about that, Tato? It's something none of you guys had said, actually.
It would have helped, but I don't think that was that huge.
It's a few hundred gold at
yeah.
max.
I will have lost anyways if I don't do the
With
chemistry.
that attitude, yes.
Ask DauT what he's been doing every single Warlord set this whole event.
Oh man, I don't know. There is something magical about Warlords. Every time I put it on, I fall asleep. Every single time. Now this time I was my sleep schedule, but even if it's not, even if I just woke up, Tato is playing or I'm gone. That's it. I'm not sure how I will sleep after the Warlords.
Did you really didn't watch any of the other games, DauT, or did you kind of catch it from time to time?
Like I wake up here and there to check the score. I think Tato was behind, and then I woke up like seeing Tato doing it. I was like, "Oh, he won!" Like, last time I saw, he was like 3-1 down or something. I was like, "Tato won!" And then I had to like forward back, and then like, okay, I stay in bed.
That's actually an amazing plot twist. You wake up, you think you won.
Why are you doing interview, Tato, man?
Well, it's actually a pretty good score. I mean, 5-3. I think he should be proud of himself.
I still have one question. If we think Incas are that crazy good, why was it the 11th civilization picked?
Because it depends on the maps, right? I think on land madness they can struggle a bit more, and I was expecting Incas maybe in Arabia or something, but like Meso, they have been struggling a bit more on land madness. And I still like. I think on that game, if I instead of double stable, I do double range with like some step lancer only, because he was obviously he wasn't going to commit, right? I still have expect him to not commit into Eagles because he knows that I have step lancers. And then I just needed like some more CA. The CA switch should have been earlier, in my opinion.
Okay, so Step Lancers was not a mistake in your opinion.
Double stable was the mistake. I think one stable 3-4 step lancers is always good to rate.
Very good. Then we have Migration. Probably one of the best games in the series. One of the best games. Did you see that one, DauT?
What? No. I'm trying to be part of it. Like, yeah.
He's watching the game.
In any case, if you don't want to watch any other game, DauT, I think you should watch that one, in my opinion. Okay, so it was Dravidians against Byzantines. You were Dravidians. You actually lost the game, but felt like at some moment you could have actually won it. What happened there, Tato?
I honestly think that my only mistake, mostly mistake, like the big mistake, was not having outposts on the right side. If I had
Because of that
outposts on
one
the right-
castle that Hera was able to drop?
Yep, yeah.
Mhm.
Because I had army, right? If I see that he's dropping a castle there, I could deny for sure. And that kill was really tough and more when he's Byzantines. But apart from that, I'm really happy with all the decision I made, and I think I tried until I didn't have any resource left, basically.
What was your thought process? Why did you resign?
I didn't have gold at all, and I lost most of my Elephantos.
It felt like it was a little bit of an early GG call when you were watching because your population was high, but I guess that makes total sense, of course. Viper, any thoughts on the game?
I think unless you take a significant lead early on, Byzantines are impossible to break. I think it's just simple as that. If it's a completely equal game, hitting Imperial Age, Byzantines will win 9 out of 10 times against almost every civ on Migration.
Okay, so game 5, what a weird game. It was one of the shortest games, probably the shortest one at all. And Hera actually killed a villager with a horse. You didn't delete the vill. Was that true?
I wasn't even looking. I thought the boar killed my villager.
Wait,
you didn't
what?
see that one, Viper. Yeah,
horse-
so
the
I
killed
saw
the
it. I thought he deleted it, but because he was trying to delete the wall or something. It was misclick.
nope.
No. I wasn't even
Apparently-
looking. I was hunting the boar, and then I hear the villager dying. I was like, what?
Wait,
How?
since when can the horse attack?
Well, there you go. It's new and improved pathing and a new improved stats for units. You know, that's what it is.
Time
This
for
patch.
Nacho to make another video.
Uh-oh.
ranting
Bug
about
abuse.
Microsoft.
Wait, how many hits does it take for horse to kill a villager?
Yeah,
Apparently
so
one.
the villager was gonna die anyway.
Village
So the
had 1
villager,
HP.
yeah, it was 1 HP. So it was. I don't know because I think kings, if you leave it next to a unit, they attack that unit, but incredibly slow, and it only takes 1 damage. I think that's something I remember very vaguely being in the game. So I'm wondering if the same thing kind of applies to horses. I'm not sure. No one seems to have heard about this one thing, but I do seem to have it in mind. In any case, Romans. Are we sleeping on the power of the Romans? I think DauT likes the Romans, right?
Not the way they play it. Like, nobody used many times. Like,
You don't do it yourself even anymore.
They're using Romans for economy. They hit many times with +2.
I think
feudal
this
and
game
+4 in castle.
doesn't really matter, right? Losing 2 villagers in Dark Age on a super aggressive map.
It's melee, right? You have the same bills on paper.
Yeah, but
But I have to pay for
had
them.
less time,
course.
and you have to pay. Yeah,
I think
the other one
against
has the
Romans,
aggression.
if you play against Romans and Romans have initiative, you're always in trouble. That's the way I feel.
And at the end, I was obviously not too happy with the start, and I felt like if he opened Menatan sign on like checkmate if I wanted to do a Spearman Scream. That's the thing. He has the option to go Menatam, to go Scout, the Scream, and he scouted my goal and he did the range. And I think at that point I was already dead.
Yeah. I guess we can skip the rest of that game. Game 6, Arabia. I thought that was a very interesting game. So you were Ethiopians against Hera. He played Mayans. And it was interesting to me because I felt like you lost most of the micro battles. Whenever you're just microing Archer v Archer, it seems like he was doing better at dodging ballistics than you were. That's the impression that I got. But at the end of the day, macro wins games. So it's one of those things that really shows that Age of Empires is more of a macro game. It's how I felt about the game. What do you think?
Well, I know that I cannot beat her at micro. Maybe one or two times if I'm tryharding, but
But
that
did you feel
requires
they were
more.
losing the micro battles?
Yeah, that's why I don't want to spend time doing that, because I think he will always have the upper hand. So
Mhm.
what I was trying to do is like force the fight when I had another group hitting his wood line, for example. So I had another group prepared to attack the wood, and then I will let him fight a little bit. I will try to make like micro a little bit at the start, so he has to micro, and then I will focus on the group and kill villagers. Because otherwise, like I think the micro battle he will also have the upper hand for sure.
Mhm. Did you feel like Ethiopian, like Mayans is the better save there?
Yeah, for sure. I was expecting
Right.
Saracens, that's why I went Ethiopians. But
Interesting.
his Mayans, I wanted to see he wanted to go Eagles and Archer. And then when we both sold the stone and I saw the Archers, I was happy because I could rush the ballistic. And I think, not sure if he had double Lamercam. I guess he had it.
Yep.
Because I was hitting his wood and I was okay. He might be struggling on wood. Maybe he cannot afford ballistic, and I can have that timing and finish the game there. But I guess he had the other wood line and I couldn't hit him there enough.
Mhm.
It was a mirror game, right? You played exactly the same, pretty much.
Mhm.
But I think as well, like what was shown on camera is like it looks like Hera is microing more and taking better fights more often than not. But it was very obvious, at least to me. I know the game, but like,
Well,
I could see all the time whenever there was a fight and Tato was not microing, it was because he was microing another group that was doing eco damage, and you saw that it reflected as well. At some point, it was like 11-0 eco kills, right?
right.
Because Tato decides when he's spending attention on the micro, and I think Tato as well is underestimating his own micro here. Whenever we saw that Tato was trying to micro, the fights were way more closer than you would think. Of course, Ethiopians help you fire a bit faster, but I think both players microed fantastically that whole game. That game was really, really cool to watch.
There was a
Yeah.
lot of ballistics dodging. I'm sure DauT would have loved to watch that one.
Yeah, those castle trades, man, that was insane.
I agree. Like I not it's like underestimating my micro. I'm just thinking like he has more APM to do micro and then like between groups, and for me it would be harder to keep up all the time that.
How do you think I feel, Tato?
I think a really sick move though was Tato's first castle.
I just
think-
said that. Don't copy my stuff, man.
I
I
think
give
nine-
game open on your screen. Like,
I think 9 out of 10 players would have built their castle defensively as an answer to Hera's castle in the middle. But Tato's forward castle, I think, was a really good move. It made
Explain.
Hera have... Huh?
Explain. I would have built it defensively as well.
Exactly. But if you build defensively, you allow Hera to... Because Hera was not too far away from Imp as well, right? So then you allow Hera to build up his game plan, right? The forward castle forces Hera into a way different like reaction compared to if they suddenly just have the forward fight, right? And Hera wanted to switch to Eagles. That's so harder to do when you have a castle in your face on your farming economy and so forth. So that forward castle was actually super clutch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I felt like I had the army to do it forward. I wanted to do where he built his first castle on that hill. No, actually a bit more forward because he had both goal forward. So I was okay, if I control that position, the game is over. But he won a fight there and he used that timing to build the castle. I was okay. Then I will go forward because he has all the army protecting there. And I could... the good thing is, as Viper says, that if you have a castle in your face, you need to react to that. And Hera, if he wants to do a transition, it will be harder for him if I have a lot of pressure on his farm and on his base, and he needs to like I destroy DCs, just kill few villagers here and there. And my army, I had enough resources to keep producing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then we have game 7, Kawasan. You were playing as the Malians and you beat him. He was playing with as the Persians. Kind of interesting that the Persians has been such a great civ and actually lost the game. Yeah, talk about that game.
Well, I know Well, I have watched some games of Hera on Kawasan, and he likes to go super fast uptime with probably one fist. So I knew that I could not match his uptime, and was going to lose the leg. So I decided to go for the other leg as well and put pressure on land. So I force reaction and using more my wood bonus with Malians and the goal as well. And then he needs to decide if he wants to do defensive building, so he wants to commit on fist or kill my own fist. And then with some demos, I could kill some fist. But like the thing is that he needs to invest wood into buildings, walls, and that doesn't allow him to fist boom as he wanted to do.
One thing that I thought, I'm not sure how much of a role it played, but you kind of went for both legs, right? So you went for the south leg first, and then you went for the north leg for as a second, and he didn't actually see you there. Were you guys watching it, Viper and Nilly? Were you guys watching that game? So it was pretty interesting because there was like one black hole in Hera's fog of war, and he could not see your dock there. Do you think that played much? Did it play much of a role in the outcome of the game, or not really?
Well, yeah, I think it was really tough for him because he also didn't see the left dock. Like he saw neither docks. He scouted 90% of the north pond and like 50% of the south pond, and he saw neither dock and saw Tado on gold. So it was like he had to be really scared that something like an Alpine, like sneaky archer rangers are around, and that's why
But
he
I
had
think-
to wall so early.
But I think he saw one of your villagers. Didn't he see your villager, Tato, in the South Lake? Because you had to wall.
I move it in Dark Age, that village.
But did you see it in Dark Age? Is that what you mean?
Maybe
I think
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure
he
he
saw
saw
your
it, but-
villager because you actually walled in your villager in the dock, and I thought you did it because you saw his scout. That's what I thought.
I
was
think
the
he saw me.
scout fight there a bit.
Yeah, but I think he saw me, no?
Yeah,
And then
maybe he saw you, but he
Well, he
certainly
went-
didn't see the second dock. Yeah.
Yeah, the second dock he
went-
did not see.
He went in quotes blindly 2 docks in the South Lake, right? So he must have known.
I
Obviously,
think
he didn't
he-
see a dock on the top
yeah,
side.
Yeah, he
so-
must have known the other one. Yeah.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
one in the north, I'm pretty sure he did not see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's interesting because he was trying to click on the hole, on the black hole in this fog of war, but because you were walled, his scout was like going the other way around. It was so actually pretty funny. Yeah, cool. It was an awesome game. What did you guys think about it, Nilly?
I didn't expect the 5 archers without fletching to pay off so much. And it was so incredibly clutch that you were able to get the camels to the archers there. I think if he walls off a tiny bit earlier, your archers are getting cleared up, and I think Hera wins the game. It's actually crazy how like the 20 HP house is such a major difference.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if he wins the game, but obviously it would have been way easier for him to defend because he wouldn't be pushed off the gold as long as he was. But yeah, I'm not sure if Tato realized, but Hera even sold his stone after you started pressuring his gold because he couldn't afford. So you were like 4 TCs long before he added even his second TC. So economically, you were in a super good spot. But I think strategically, that was a real good adaptation to what Persian does in that map. So I think it was a very solid execution on your part.
I saw the stone. But I didn't see. At some point, I saw the market and I knew that he sold the stone, so he was going to go heavy pressure. And I guess like he went to docks because he didn't see my villager. Because I delete the palisades and I went back to home, right? And then if you don't see the villager, it's because maybe he's building another dock.
Mm.
So maybe he's. I'm not sure if he built it first.
He was already building before he scouted your dock
then-
again.
then-
So
He
it was
wanted
just
to build.
blindly.
Yeah.
All right, then last game. What do they call the map? Is it mirrored? Is it mired? I think it's mirrored, right? So you played as the Armenians, and Hera was playing as the Saracens. I mean, it kind of looked like you did a lot of damage at the beginning. Maybe you didn't kill too many villagers, but then the market just completely saved Hera the game. But of course, he picked Saracens because he was expecting to use the market anyway. So did you think it was the wrong decision to go forward against the Saracens?
In hindsight, yes, probably was. At least having the range forward, I will say. I think Menatams was fine. Just having the range at home so I can defend as well, because the map is so super open. And he had always the option to counterattack me. At some point, he just walled there and I'm stuck. So yeah, in hindsight, I think the mistake was going for the forward range. That's kind of... It was a good start, but still, like, he had the option to counterattack all the time.
Mm-hmm. Is it fine that someone can be bailed out by the market this hard?
That's DauT.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We don't touch market here. We don't talk bad about market here. That's why I'm here.
To save the market.
To
Okay.
save the market and the mules.
Well, they don't have any other eco bonuses, right?
Yes.
So I think Saracens might be a bit crazy with how good the camels are right now. But I think if it was broken, we would see them way more, right? It just feels so unnatural because no other shifts can do it. But it's not like they're crushing tournaments. So I think the balance is fine.
I think you also often see them on maps like this where it's like you're not playing against the tippity top civ on the other side either, right? And
Right.
there it seems even better than it actually is. But I think Tato missed an opportunity, like when you found the vills and the berries. I think you could have quick walled next to your range to trap those vills so he couldn't escape. That was a missed opportunity.
I
to
didn't think
maybe-
about
I
it,
think-
to be honest.
I think he had 3 vills on the berries?
4, I think, even.
4 even. No.
Yeah.
That could
He
have been
killed
4 dead
one.
vills.
Yeah,
If he killed
one of
all
them.
those 4, I mean, market can only do so much, right?
Yeah. In hindsight, I actually didn't even think about keep walling there. So
I even
Yeah.
think making a tower was a mistake because you just force him to make a tower and react, and it slows down your push, right? I think just keep making units and maybe make a mule and take resources and just keep applying pressure with units.
Interesting.
I think the tower doesn't do enough that it's worth it with only 2 vills.
Mhm.
yeah, because he will do the tower anyways if I keep pressuring him enough with army. Yeah, makes sense. I think I thought I had 3 attempts, but I only had 2. So probably that didn't pay off anyways.
Mhm.
Maybe, but it's tempting when you find those berry vills. You gotta do that when an arms upgrade.
I would have
Yeah.
liked to see Armenians and Mongols switch. Armenians on land, Nomad, and Mongols on Mired.
Then we wouldn't get 8 games nearly. It would be 7.
It was tricky, right? My first pick, like if I want to use Mongols there, I need to get to game 8. And
True.
I think Vietnamese is a tough matchup as well for
Armenians.
Armenians. Yeah,
In general, do you guys have like a final opinion on the new civs?
I like the Monaspa.
oh,
You like the bug, not the unit.
No,
Shame.
I think the new civs are really fun. The mule cart makes the economy a lot of fun to work with. Hopefully, I can patch out the Monaspa bug quickly.
What about you guys on the Georgians and Armenians? Like just general thoughts.
Mules, how not to love them? Like I pick them every single round. Maybe that's why I'm out. But, like I played very It's like in the end, Georgians are the better one. At the beginning, we were all thinking, at least I was thinking, Armenians will be the best one with Warrior Priest, and kind of better economy on the paper, right? Every economy upgrade is worth 5% more, and cheaper mules. It sounds really good, but in the end, they don't have units. They
Yeah,
just
the
don't have
units. Yeah.
Well, they're way better on water maps, right? Or if the water has anything to say, right? But on land maps, Georgians feel way better to play.
I agree. I think Georgians are insane, actually. It might be... They have some bonuses that you get all together. Like on Gold Rush, they fell unstoppable.
Tato, there are more tournaments in future.
I know, but they-
Like, this is not the last one.
Nearly, is Gold Rush on NAC?
Not yet, no.
Okay, we can...
Okay, okay.
I even asked you guys, and you all said no.
Well, Gold Rush is a hard map to... Actually, I don't know.
Every map
We
where
have so
there's
many
a hill,
different...
there is
Yeah.
it. You get a castle on that hill, it receives less damage, is super cheap to repair. You'll never lose that castle. It
Yeah,
buys
just
you
keep
more
giving the info, keep feeding the info.
castle.
Yeah,
No
I
one
mean-
saw it before that.
Would Gold Rush be fun with just a plateau with all the gold? When everything is flat on the top?
and without gold in the middle.
No, gold in the middle. But because what I don't like about Gold Rush is that if someone has the middle, it feels like they won the game kind of a lot of the times. So would Gold Rush be a fun map if it was the same layout, just with the middle being like elevated but flat along the whole middle?
It's a bit like Golden Hill looks, right? In
How's
team
Golden
games.
Hill again?
Well,
Isn't Golden Hill a
there
water
is
map?
some water, but like how the area is flat. But okay. Mm.
Because I feel like it ends up with a lot of stalemate and frustrating games.
I think Gold Rush is now the best Gold Rush that we have, right? Because you actually get a hill back even if you're getting pushed back. Because now
Yeah,
it's the valley around the main hill.
Yeah, you have a goal. I think I like how it is right now, honestly. I think it makes you fight for the map control, otherwise it will be a boom fest.
I do want to go back to the Monaspas, though. It's pretty obvious to me you're not at fault, Viper. None of the players would be at fault for using something that it's allowed to be used. Were you guys warned about the bug? Did the admins talk to you guys? We're going to keep the bug and just give you more bans. That's what I heard. What was the conversation like there?
I think Mr. Joe brought on the Discord, and I think it was like before group stage.
I think
It was
6th of November, right?
6th of November. Yeah, he brought. Well, he asked if the
Monaspa Bug.
if they knew about the Monaspa Bug,
Mhm.
and the admin said that they will consider, or they will think about it, but they didn't give any more feedback. So
We even had before main event started, Jordan was the first one to write that he's unsure about adding the 2 new civs to the main event, right? Because of potential bugs and
Right.
issues, right?
Right.
And then they made the whole statement on why they're doing it, which was fine. They gave extra bans, sure. But yeah, the fact that the Monaspa bug was even like shown late after that in the Barls against Hera.
But yeah, I
Right.
think it wasn't talked too much about because in that game Hera lost like 5 villagers to 1 scout or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was like the game was over for Hera anyway. So nobody really talked about the fact that Barls ended up winning with the Monaspas because it was not because of the Monaspas, right?
It would have. I mean, the Monaspa's takeout TC is relatively quick either way, right? But it's obviously exaggerated a lot right now. But yeah, I mean, you could even see that game, right? That the Monaspa's 4 or 5 hit the town centers, right? It's insane.
I mean, hindsight is 2020, but kind of feels like something that should have been addressed. I mean, if it's pretty obvious that it's so bugged, but I mean, it's hard.
I mean, you see what happened from the semifinals onwards. The players agreed, let's not play Georgians.
Right, I would assume as much, right? Because nobody banned them. It was not in any of the drafts, so I kind of thought that would be the case. Yeah, and I think that's maybe yes.
I think the unit still people that underestimates how strong will be and destroying TCs because they will have a lot of attack when you have like 20. They will still melt the TCs, not as fast as now, but the damage input will be insane as well. But
like the TC I took from Vilessa, I would have probably still gotten it without the bug before Imp. So it's like, of course, it looks way worse on paper because of how bad it is right now, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a pretty strong unit. They train really fast. They have I think they have 5 melee armor, which is pretty
crazy.
5 base. Yeah, base 5 melee armor. It's kind of crazy.
The craziest thing is that they only cost 45 gold, I think. That's the craziest thing.
11 and they're broken anyways.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
They have low HP.
And low HP, yeah. Low HP, 2 pierce armor. But they train really fast. I mean, a knight trains in like 30 seconds. They train in 11 seconds.
So, 11?
Yes, it's pretty fast. All right. Before we just go, I just would like to hear. Well, let's start with DauT. Actually, DauT hasn't said too much. I want to hear about your tournament run, DauT. You were pretty close to qualifying.
Ooh.
Hit me with hurts, huh? Yeah, it was pretty close.
Talk about what happened. You were leading.
I lost.
What happened?
I was close and then I lost. Well, obviously, having Hera, Lyri is not easy opponents to beat, although I had Jordan is easy opponent to beat. Was let's say hardest bracket, right? Having the only player who had to deal with 2 players from top 4 from invited. You want me to cry here? You want me to complain? I will cry. We can make it like this. Yeah. And then the last week I got sick that same day against Vilessa. That's again top 6 seeds. So yeah, the seeding was I had to play every single top 8 player. But in the end, I'm the one who lost. I was close to beating them all and I failed. I think I have some mental issues right now. Every set I was leading 2-1 and losing 3-2.
Every 5. Yeah. No, all 5 sets you were leading 2-1. Yeah.
And 3 of them I lost. And I didn't feel like I felt the pressure actually, or I threw the games, especially I did throw the games, but not some special nerve wracking because of that. It just happens. I wish it stopped happening, man. But it did happen.
Do you think you're too you lost with Armenians against Hera, for example? Didn't you use Armenians against Vilessa as well?
They have mules. What can I do?
Yeah, I know.
What can I do?
Okay, fair enough. Funny thing is, like DauT, I think Friday, 2 days before he's playing Velesi, he's starting. Oh, I'm getting sick. I'm getting sick. And then the day after, he's like, oh, I'm not sick yet, but I'm getting there. And then
Because
Yeah.
Home was sick for like 7 days before I had to play Jordan. So I was like, oh God, no. Not at least don't lose to the Jordan. Like keep me healthy for that day. And then everybody in Home got healthy and everything was fine. I was like, okay, that's it. And then morning against Velese, I wake up with a fever. Fuck my life.
Is it from your kids? I keep getting sick because of my kids.
Yeah, exactly that.
It's horrible.
Mhm.
It's
Thinking about moving out from them. One more loss and that's it.
that's it. All right, Viper. I want to hear about your tournament run too. Pretty good, I would say. Still top 3,
mean,
obviously.
Fuck abuser.
in hindsight,
Yeah.
third place is obviously a good result. But obviously, I would always like to do more. But Spanish Beast was in my way. So it's not that easy, you know. But I mean, like, if the funny thing is, if DauT would have won against Velez, we would have had all 4 GL players on the bottom bracket. We
In
would
the
have had
same bracket, right? Right.
we would have had a guaranteed finalist in that case. But yeah, I mean, I still want to perform better. I want to have more good days, so to say. But yeah, third place, it's still a decent result.
hmm And how do you guys feel about Hera? Who can beat him these days? Is it only Viper and Tato?
Yo,
Well,
In my opinion, Viper and Leary are the closest to beat him.
Viper and
Leary-
Leary, you said.
Yeah, Leary is maybe out of shape, although I think he has practice. At least I know he has practice with Viper a little bit.
Uh-oh.
I know that.
And he was practicing with me, so I guess that's why he won.
Oh, that explains it out. That explains everything.
I mean, I played 2 sets with Leary. I don't know how many much he trained besides that, right?
Yeah. But definitely he doesn't look on his best shape. But pick Leary, I think he can match Hera as well as Viper. I think they are the only 2 that can probably beat him on a like best of 7, best of 9 set.
Mhm.
I think you need to add Tato to that list as well. Even today, right?
I
the
think so,
arena
too.
game, a slight adjustment there, and it's 4-4, right? And Tato's also
migration.
beat him on Red Bull, right? Yeah, migration as well was like there are so many tiny details in the strategy, and like even the draft. Like you draft one other civ that is slightly better maybe earlier, and then everything turns around, right? Hera's just become so good at the whole picture, right? He's drafting well for his style. He's good at every map, and he's really hard to punish, right? So, but yeah, I think also I don't like to up DauT here, but DauT has like when DauT clicks with his strategies, as you saw, like he lost 2-3 to Hera, but I think as well, like I've told DauT as well, that the 4 legs should have been a win. So I like in my eyes, DauT should have won against Hera.
Thank you. Finally,
welcome.
credit they deserve.
No,
Of
actually,
course, he did use Armenians, not as we wanted it to. Even Armenians game, man, you should have won that as
Imagine
well.
if there were no new DLC, I think I would be in finals easily. the mules are killing me. Like that's it.
You can't resist the mules.
I cannot.
I actually think that I was scared. Like if DauT would have won Viles and I had to face him, I was actually really scared.
Scared of the mules. I would save those masters from you. Like if only I was there.
Yeah.
I still want to hear.
Hmm?
Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, I could also see like players with the style of freaking Andy, for example, as he has already shown. If he continues to develop and like can throw in those crazy strategies in shorter series, I can also see players like him. I think Sita as well with his playstyle. Styles like that can, in some cases, catch Hera off guard. But of course, it's about consistently doing it in a best of 3 and a best of 5. And the longer the set, the harder it becomes.
do you really think Sito style is good against Hera?
Not necessarily good. I think Hera will win 9 out of 10 times, right? But I think his style can catch Hera off guard.
I remember that one series against Leary where he beat him like 3-0, I think, and he lamed every single game. Or do you guys remember? I think it was King of the Desert. King of the Desert.
Round 16.
Yeah, he lamed him like every single game, and it seemed to work against Leary. No, it's not Hera.
Yeah,
but...
that's about because he prepared really well for Leary's style, right? Yeah. I mean, you saw Sito against Tato as well. That went to this. I think Sito should have probably won if he did the armor upgrade instead of Elite Eagles in the first game. Then those wagons wouldn't do too much.
I think more the Cumans game, no? I think that was.
What was the? Oh yeah, that one as well. That was clutch.
Organians. Oh yeah, sick.
Yeah, that was a sick game.
Was it the hideout game?
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing game as well.
I thought that was dead for sure.
I thought so as well. I was fuck 3-1. I was no. How do I come back from this?
But that's also a sign of a champion, right? When you can hold and survive those types of situations.
Yeah. I think, as I said, I think I'm making less mistakes, and overall, I have told you guys already a couple of times, a lot to doubt. I think the physical shape is doing a lot as well. And now that I have been going for the gym for 6-7 months, also in Red Bull I was quite on shape. I can tell that I'm less stressed when I'm playing, and I'm more relaxed. And I don't know. I just have fresh mind when I'm playing.
Okay, Tato. Now imagine an in shape DauT.
I don't want to. It's impossible. It will be.
I don't want to do that with you guys. So
I
that shows up with the six pack.
Yeah, he will show up with a six pack, but another one.
The other
another six pack.
Is the best of 9 way too long for a tournament?
yes,
In my opinion, it's way too long.
I think it started 1.5 hours too late.
I think
regardless of the time, just 5. What was it? I think 4.5 hours of playing in front of the computer.
Thing. If it's a long best of 9, people say it should have been best of 7. If it's a short best of 7, people are saying it should have been best of 9. We had this for 6 years now.
I think as well, since there's 9 villages start, it is borderline acceptable. But the fear is always, what if there is a Black Forest game like Jordan and Andy had, for example, in the middle of the set, right? That's always would be my concern if I'm playing and suddenly I have a 2-hour Black Forest game. I'll be toast. And then it's like, oh, well, 5 more games to go, And also you're playing
8.
all... Yeah, exactly. And you're playing these games super focused. It's super exhausting. And yeah, as well, like the third place match, me and Yo, right? It was a 3-0, easy clap, 3-0 fast games, right? But what if we had a 2-hour Rage Forest game there? Suddenly Tato and Hera starts 9 p.m. European time, and Tato has to play until maybe 2 a.m. Imagine Jordan was in the final.
I don't even want to imagine that.
Well, he was. You remember Hidden Cup?
Hidden Cup, he was dead.
He started playing at, 10 p.m., 9 p.m.?
9 p.m. something.
Against Hera, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, Jordan was a zombie. It was yeah.
He didn't care. He was also overjoyed for making it into the final, right? Because he just beat Yo. Because they had a 2.5 hour Arabia game, right? The skirm war. And Jordan couldn't compete.
He that was short back when he came back, right? It wasn't too long.
Yeah, a couple of months.
He had been back for a while already then. It wasn't as recent, as soon. I think he had been back for over a year at that point.
But
really? Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought it was one of the first S tier tournaments.
Thought so too. Yeah. In any case,
I could be wrong.
It was his first breakthrough for sure.
Yeah, since coming back, it was his first massive.
And the last one.
He won Admirals Cup, DauT.
And German Championship, DauT.
Oh, German.
Yeah,
we can talk about Jordan performance actually, right? He's not here, but I think we can say that he was.
We can have a good laugh.
And Jordan is back to full-time work now, and he still got in front of another person here, actually 2.
Well, one person beat him from all of us, so...
Let me check Wikipedia.
I wish I lost against him, then I would have probably the same bracket. Then I would get both of you.
I think Jordan has played really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the against Mysterio probably was his best performance in a while.
He had a similar arena throw that you today, his
I
arena
didn't
game.
watch that one. I was doing
so
the
painful.
mustache. So
yeah,
I didn't watch that one.
Well, what did you say? You were taking care of your mustache when you were
No. I was cutting my hair. But when Jordan was playing the first game, I didn't watch it.
All right.
It was a brutal throw.
Okay, but the best of 9. What do you guys like? The tournament format is changing during the tournament. It's best of 5, best of 10 into best of 9. I beat Tato best of 5. I will not beat him best of 9. So it depends when I meet him. It's completely different tournament, right? It's not the same thing. Shouldn't the tournament stay best of 5? It's best of 5 whole event. It's in World Cup, if it's final, it's not lasting 2 hours now. It's still 90 minutes. Why do we have the need to change the settings during the tournament?
All I hear is a player that wants to have a chance of winning another S tier.
Well, okay, make the whole tournament best of 9. First round best of 9 as well. Like, why does it has to shift? Is it only because of the content, because of the more time on a stream, more money?
Well, obviously, like you couldn't finish the group stage with all best of 9s, right? The tournament takes 3 months because you can only do basically one set per day. In the finals, you only have one game that matters, right? So you want to extract the viewers. Like viewer numbers are rising, right? We started with 26K when the score was 0-0, and we ended with 38K, right?
Yeah,
and
but
if
Was
it
the
goes
highest? Oh.
something like that, right? I don't know the exact numbers, but like that's what I saw.
But
That game-
So-
it's like that for every sport. Like, why it's not in tennis, 10 sets in the
Well,
finals?
because
then?
you get to the physical limit, right? If you play 7 sets of tennis, the level would be so low because people couldn't run anymore. And we see exhaustion here, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's still like, I think the limit that people can still do is a best of 9.
Not
It's
my
also-
limit.
Yeah,
you
not
compare
your
it to-
limit, but like the one of the finalists.
If you compare it to tennis or football or other sports in that regard as well, they're always playing on the same pitch the whole time and they know exactly what they're going to deal with, right? In AoE, we have different maps, different saves, draft. I think what's dragging things out as well a lot is the drafting. The drafting takes a lot of time these days.
But even that, like preparing the draft from best of 5 and best of 9, it's completely different game. And it changes. Like you can ban more. The day of the maps now is completely different. It's not the same game. Like my route to the finals is not the same as finals. And for me, that makes no sense.
But it's the same for both players, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's,
I'm just
it's the grand finale,
not
right? It should be.
Taking excuse or anything. We're just saying like in tournaments why it's like that. Like why that is the standard that tournament keeps shifting during the stages. Like is the content the most important or is it, well, let's say integrity of the tournament? Keep the same rules from the day 1 to the day last.
But if we had the finals best of 5, there would be fewer viewers, less money going into the game.
Would it be fewer viewers?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
course.
I think on Twitch it always keeps increasing, right? It's one of the
And
things that Twitch does.
Every
yeah.
tournament shows, yeah.
Well, for me, for example, when it's best of 9, I usually don't care to watch first few games because like it's best of 9. I will catch up later. I start when it's 2-2, and if it's like 3-0, well, who cares to watch it? It's already over.
Yeah, but why are viewer numbers lower in a best of 5 than in a best of 9?
Because
Yeah, I
it's
think-
not in the finals. Like if it's the
the
finals,
earliest
best of
stage.
5, you will be there glued from the first game. Every
No,
game
but
matters.
you have a way longer
Okay.
amount of time for people
Then-
to enter the stream as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Exactly.
obviously.
That- that's the
Third
thing,
place
yeah.
match is best of 5, and we still had viewer increase out.
Also, an important thing is like obviously you can say whatever you want. Oh, this is not good for players, maybe, but also the game is funded by sponsorship, right? This time via Microsoft. What does Microsoft care about? The metric called viewing hours, right? And that's the longer the set goes, the better that number is going to be.
Well, then why tennis is not best of 7 in the finals? They
Because
like
the
viewers
sponsors
as well.
Cloud
have
run
the
for
sponsors
that.
asked for that?
But speaking
Mm-hmm.
of tennis, don't they increase the sets in the final? Isn't the final always larger or always a longer set?
It was today
think-
2-0, like only 2 sets.
Yeah, like the big ones are best
Like
of
it
5.
used to
Women
be.
are always
It-
best of 3. And
Yeah, I
small
mean,
teams.
it makes sense. It's physical limit, right? In esports, of course, there's exhaustion, but you're still sitting on a computer. You're not gonna be like, oh, my legs can't move anymore. I cannot play anymore, right? You're gonna be tired, but you can always play.
Shouldn't be then the like fixed poses be introduced? Like we know after 3 games. Well, why not?
Well, I thought it's a fixed poses, as in, like everyone has to sit in a certain way.
I would
But okay,
not.
pauses, yes.
Like after 4 games, give players like 20 minutes break. You don't
That's
want
what-
it, you can have, you
But-
must
but
have it.
needs to start
That's what
earlier.
I did.
Half time.
That's what I did in my very long ones, right? When I did best of 11, best of 13, I gave
remember.
half an hour break in
Yeah.
between.
But then you have to start earlier, I think.
Yeah,
Did
we did.
did we have best of 13 in NAC?
NAC 2 was best of 13.
Holy
Oh,
God.
NAC
yeah.
3 was
Serious?
best of 11.
That was our final, actually.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
you leading 5-0, and then the end was 7-3, I believe.
Exciting.
Well,
It
it was good for
please start the
viewership,
win
right?
again.
Actually, it was at the 5-0 end, we had 9.5K, and at the end, it was 10.5K. So it dropped heavily. It dropped down to like 6.5K when we resumed after the break. Although I thought the break with DauT was great content.
Oh, thank you,
think-
Nelly.
Tato even said he didn't need a break, right? Tato was
Yeah,
fine
that was-
carrying on.
I'm still very thankful for you there, because if this ends 7-0, people will be so mad. But after the 7-3, people were actually really happy because the last game was really entertaining as well.
Oh, that game was sick.
graveyards. That was
Best
sick.
of 13.
Magyar versus
Magyars.
Incas.
Yeah,
Because
that was a good
You
game.
guys remember those things? Wow.
Yeah, like we saw everything: heavy CA, heavy Scorpions, champions, all for
Kamuk,
Magyars.
Eagles.
Was it going to
Catwatcher.
be? What is it going to be in NEC 5, Nelly? What's the final going to be? Is it going to be best of
Best of
9? I think it
21.
was.
Best of nine, but we start
9.
like 1.5 hours earlier than
Mhm.
Memta today.
I think also like we are all a bit older, and for us, I think it's more demanding.
Yeah, Hera and Lyria are pushing for best of 11 for the
Yeah,
final.
that's what
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what I say. Like,
Tell them no.
Here and Leary,
They can play
Yeah,
themselves.
they can play as much as they want. Like that's it. But for us, like even on Boa, I remember on Boa when we finished the best of 9. I wanted
It was-
to sleep for 3 days.
The brutal thing with Boa was also it was a best of 7 draft, and then you
Oh, true.
paused to do another draft for the last 2
Oh,
games.
you're serious?
That was like
oh, wow.
45, 50-minute break. That was crazy. Absolutely crazy. And it could have been only 1 game, but it turned out into 2 then. Oh,
And I'm not sure about the long breaks. I think it breaks the rhythm, and you can lose a lot of focus.
yeah.
So I don't think like Fizz poses, as DauT says, is the best thing.
Every other sport got it.
Yeah, but it's different.
But
It
how
also
it's
different, right? No, but what if you play 3 games in AV2 and they're all 10-minute games, right? 15-minute games. I don't think you're warranted a 15-minute pause after that, right? In football and tennis and et cetera, you can somewhat predict always how long it's going to take, right?
For
It's
example,
not like that.
NAC4, the ACCM versus Yo game, right? 2.5 hour enclosed game.
Oh, yeah.
And I just told them, take a 10-minute smoke break, guys.
Mm.
Like otherwise, they're completely fried, and the game 5 is just a random coin flip, right?
Yeah.
It's more stamina than Age of Empires at that point.
How long was the arena game that MBL and Hera played again?
4.5 hours, I believe.
4.5 hours.
And
yeah,
the game was
something
over
like
and MBL clicked
Instant
Q.
queue.
I remember when I was like that. It was a
Yeah, let me
different
see.
lifetime.
Is Hera maybe playing ranked games right now? No, he's not.
No,
Okay.
no chance.
But he did
You-
the other day, right? I think after his semifinal,
Semifinal.
but yeah, he had a break, right? He played the first one. Yeah.
Well, young guys, young guys. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wait, we didn't discuss Nili's tournament performance.
Oh yeah.
How could I forget that?
I'm not surprised you did.
Actually, Nili had a really good run in the first qualifier. Worth mentioning. You beat
I beat
Vivi.
Vivi, who
Yeah,
made it
that's
into the main
actually-
event. And I
exactly.
also felt like I didn't play poorly against Balz, honestly.
But Barles has been on fire lately. So that's,
I think if I have like number 20 in the world, 25 in the world there, I think I have a shot.
Yep.
I was not unhappy with how I played.
Are you happy with your practice?
I think I started a bit late. It was more like I did 7 days of 10 hours practice. I think it would have been better if I did like 3 weeks of 3 hours every day.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's
always
tou-
better.
It's tough to find people 3 weeks ahead of time, right? Because GL players, some of them invited, don't need to train. Others like take the last 3 days. So like finding someone to train for a qualifier 3 weeks ahead of time is actually tough for me.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking discovery.
Because there is also usually another tournament, right? It's like now, let's say we want to
Yeah.
practice for NEC already,
Right.
but people, there is the 2v2 tournament, and what do you prioritize? That's the thing, right?
I prioritize snack.
at
We all
least,
do.
at
Nice
least
start.
the last 3 tournaments or like, let's say, Warlords, this and this, are 9 villages start, right? So you don't have to switch out completely, right? Going from TTL to suddenly Warlords was like a very different feeling, right? Because
Interesting. What's
training with
NEC going to be, Nelly?
it's 9.
Builds. But
Actually-
like, a bit of different resources, right? For example, Chinese won't be as broken.
I wanted to ask that actually. What do you guys think about Warlords 9 Villiers or NEC 9 Villiers?
I think Chinese are completely broken, right?
I
On-
think
on
Warlords will be
Warlords.
fine if they adjusted Chinese, right? Of course, with the what's it called, the Deep Waters League, where they started with that, they adjusted every civ according to. But I think like Mayans as well. Why should they just get 1 villager free extra with 9 villages start as well, right? I think you could just balance that out, Chinese and Mayans in particular, and then it will be fine.
I like Warlords. It's kind of smooth to open and it's more chill. Like you have more ship, right? More food. You start with more food. You don't need to clicky. It's chill.
I feel like on the other settings, like I think the NSC is using deep waters, right? More or less, nearly.
Is it
So
exactly deep waters?
I think
I
it's
would think
quite
so. I
close.
think we're just repeating what we did in NSC4. Feedback was
Okay.
good.
I
Yeah.
think it is, yeah.
The only issue I have with that amount of resources is that you are kind of forced to lure deers most of the time. On Warlords, you have enough food at the start that with the 2 elephants, you will have enough. Maybe on Land Manage, you are forced because there is not enough food. But
I
let's
think
say on Kawasan, you don't have to push deers. Like you can do more scouting. Like on NSC settings, you will not see anyone going for this with the scout to see where he's docking. They will push deers to boost the uptime.
I think that's also like, for example, we saw with Frigid Lake as well, right? The builds are so tight that like with that low amount of resources, whoever can up fastest, like Persians became such a dominant civ on Frigid Lake, right? Because there are the lack of resources, so the little bit of extra push you get with the extra resource at the start just pushes a certain civ or two super far ahead.
So should we give everyone an extra sheep?
I think you can just like Deep Water Stick also has like the starting sheep has less resources as well, right? Just have full food, right? Who cares? It's extra food for everyone.
Like the NSC is TGM as well, right? The same settings. I think
Grand
it's,
Melee.
yeah, they all have the same. I think it doesn't hurt, to be honest, like having more food there at the start.
But then you could also argue that more food, and then you also push the deer, so you just have extra food.
Well, we just had that in Warlords, and I don't think it was a problem.
Yeah, the only like I like Warlord settings. The only thing I dislike is the Chinese are like so broken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Chinese was banned on most of the series, right? And yeah, like if you adjust Chinese and Mayans, they should be decent for sure.
Bug abusing is fine, but Chinese is where Viper draws the line.
Okay, since you bring it up again, how much did it actually hit you? Were you like thinking about it during the series afterwards? I mean, when we were playing the semifinal.
No, of course.
Did it like dawn on you at all?
No, I mean I was a bit annoyed during the day, right? Because I suddenly started getting these messages from Argentinians and Latin America, private messages, comments on my YouTube comments, PMs on Instagram, all that stuff, you know.
It was all me.
And it's just like, okay, this is annoying. So I don't usually. There's a lot of people talk a lot of shit in general, right? But sometimes I feel like I want to defend myself, and when I thought that just the way Nacho posted the YouTube title and the thumbnail, it was very much implied that I'm like a cheater and bug abuser, and like this is a scandalous for Age of Empires, right? And I didn't feel like that was fair, and it drove a lot of negativity in my way. So I felt like I wanted to defend myself. Obviously, it was not ideal timing, but I wouldn't say it had any impact on my gameplay.
Something I always wonder, isn't it always or almost always better to not say anything publicly and just message him privately? Because then, a lot of people are going to start responding to your responses, and then T90 chimes in, then Jordan chimes in, and everybody starts answering, and it just becomes this huge thing. Isn't it always better? Just don't say anything publicly, message him.
I don't think it's always better, but more often than not, obviously doing things behind closed doors. But I think the damage was already
so hard. But it's just so hard right
already
in the moment.
Right? The video had over 25,000 views by the time I noticed, right? So it was like, at that point, I felt like I want to make a public statement, if that makes sense.
Right.
Also, in this situation, like it gives Viper's view more legitimacy.
Mm-hmm.
The moment Jordan supports his view, T90 supports his view, lots of likes on that one, right? The other side is shown. So I think you should kind of do both. Talk to Nacho about the video and kind of try to post your view.
I mean, my intention was obviously not to hang out Nacho to dry, right? That people start attacking him. It was just like this. I didn't find this to be a cool way of doing it, right? Like my picture was on the thumbnail, all that stuff, right? It was very clickbaity and negative emphasis towards me. And I felt like this could have been done the same way, but different, right? Without dragging me down so hard, so to say.
To be clear, he apologized. I think he changed the title. He changed the thumbnail, if I'm not mistaken.
We're cool. Like, no hard feelings after.
He's a great guy, by the way. Yeah, he's a great guy. It's really, really nice. All right, guys, this was fun. Next time, hopefully, one of you guys will actually have won the whole thing. Is it going to be Well, when does cartographers finish?
In
In
2
2
weeks.
In 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Oh,
2 weeks.
3rd of December, roughly.
well.
2
What
weeks
are
exactly.
what
First
are the
round starts tomorrow.
tomorrow?
Actually,
What are our
people
teams? What are
already
Gamer
played.
Legion teams? Is it? I know all of you guys signed up, right? So
Yeah.
what are the teams again?
Jordan and Viper, and then GLA.
Exactly. DLA.
I like it. I like
Or
it.
for that, what is the internal name, DauT?
Nearly's last chance.
All right, guys, this was fun. Thanks for taking the time, and good luck, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe. Click that like button and leave us a comment. Let us know your thoughts on the whole video. And if you'd like to see this more often, thank you so much. Bye bye.
That's
See you
it,
next
DauT. Do the heart. Do the heart.